San Diego Comic-Con 2015.
Noelle Foley here at San Diego Comic-Con 2015, and it is amazing. I'm here with Bill Miekina, WWE Mattel head designer. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's madhouse as always, but reaction so far has been pretty great. So
yeah, the Mattel WWE panel was great, and it was crazy, and they're coming up with so many new figures. My personal favorite is Finn Balor with all the face paint. And going on to some questions from Wrestling Figs and Ringside fans. Here we go. For the NWO Hogan that was shown, the weight belt says Hulkster. Is this going to be changed to Hollywood?
It can be. I mean, it's early enough in the process that we can make that change, so most likely.
Okay. For Big Show, when are we going to see the WMD closed fist with one of his figures?
Probably on the next Elite. I don't have another Elite Big Show scheduled right now, so it might be a bit. But that's one of those that enough people have asked for. So when I do another Elite Big Show, hopefully he'll have a significant outfit change real soon that I can justify putting him back in the Elite lineups. And then we can make sure that he has a nice cocked right fist.
Okay. Can you confirm anyone from Elite 39?
Not yet.
The Zombie Cena and Hogan figure, is that just a Comic-Con piece, or could it actually get released?
It's this year's Comic-Con piece. Every year we try to do something, you know, just to amuse ourselves and get people's reaction, and we're pretty blown away by the reaction to this so far. So, you know, maybe. You never know. But yeah, it's not scheduled yet, but you know, everything. If enough people think they want to buy it, we'll try and find a way to get it to you.
Oh yeah. Will the Build-A-Figure line continue?
Yes, it is at Walmart now. Walmart's going to be getting the Paul Bearer Build-A-Figure wave. The first two are actually here. You buy old school Undertaker and old school Chris Jericho, and you get some of the parts to build Paul Bearer. The other two are not yet ready to show, but that will be coming out in the fall at Walmart, and I'm currently working on at least one other wave for early next year.
Okay. Does the new way that the cases are being packed change the way you have to plan and budget new figures for each assortment?
A little bit, yeah. It's actually one of the things is it's kind of helpful because if you have someone that's really deco intensive, you know, that's going to take up a lot of deco. In the past, you could only split that up over one or two figures, whereas now on some of the ones that are coming out, you can sort of run the cost across like 3 or 4 figures to make sure that everything comes out meaning cost at the end.
Okay. Has Target given you the green light to plan additional Hall of Fame series waves for 2016?
Yes, the Hall of Fame at Target has been very successful, and they're very happy with it. We're very happy with it. I'm working on a lot of new Hall of Fame stuff, so yeah, there's 2 of them in the case right now. We have prototypes of Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, so they will be in wave 3.
Sweet. Has WWE ever specifically requested that you make any characters or attires?
No, they don't usually ask. What will happen is we will send in what we want to do and they'll either approve it or disapprove it. And every once in a while, they'll suggest a replacement for someone for whatever reason, and we just usually don't ask. And it's just sometimes, you know, we'll do it.
Okay.
But in terms of like, they don't say like, in next basic wave, make sure that this person's there. They don't do that.
Yeah. Will these amazing NXT figures eventually get their own line?
Probably not as an own line, but as likely as a sub-brand.
Yeah.
So there'll probably be some sub-branding going forward in 2016 on basic and elite NXT figures.
Well, that's cool. That kind of leads into this next question. Will we get NXT wrestlers in the elite line?
Yes, you'll be getting quite a few.
Oh, yeah. Any chance of NXT tag teams in the battle packs?
Yes.
Big chance, big chance.
It's almost it's a certain chance at this point.
What is your favorite head scan?
My favorite one, I gotta admit, I'm a sucker for that Brock Lesnar. I took that photo right off the television.
Yeah.
And I was like, can you? And I sent it over to General Diane, who does our sculpting, and says, can you sculpt? Is this good enough for you to sculpt from? And I got that back, and it's dead on, and I love it.
That's awesome. He's screaming. I like that.
That's an Elite 37. That'll be out soon.
That is so cool. Will there be an NXT stage or ring?
Nothing's planned right now, but that doesn't mean it won't be in the future.
That'd be cool.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Will Sin Cara Elites finally get a new torso? Unico is radically different size compared to the original Sin Cara.
He's not radically different. He's bigger. He's a little bulkier, but we also tend to idealize our figures anyway, so it's possible, but it's not something like I don't want to spend. If I have a certain amount of budget for a mold for that wave, I don't want to use it there. I would rather have it on a more meaningful, either new part or new accessory. So if I'm being right now, the answer is no, but it could change at some point.
You never know, right?
Nothing's set in stone until it's set in stone.
Yeah.
So.
When will the first Elite Kevin Owens figure be released?
As soon as I can get him out, because we know the demand is there for him. I am working very, very hard on him to get him out as soon as we can, and I want him as much as you guys do. So.
Any hope of a more articulation for Divas, especially with characters like Charlotte, who would benefit from the double knee and hinge wrist articulation and fists instead of the big hands?
In all honesty, probably not. It's a challenge to keep the articulation we have now with the cost pressures.
Yeah.
You know, every year, as I've said, for the last 6 years, costs keep going up. We try to find ways to keep it down. And one of the ways that's been actually discussed is removing articulation from basic. I'm fighting like hell to
removing it?
Removing articulation, and I'm fighting like hell to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So far, I've been successful, but the idea of adding, because that adds labor to the figures and part assembly, and it's so hard to keep the costs contained on these. They're coming back and saying like, oh, here's something that actually adds cost and labor. It's not going to fly.
Yeah. Is there any chance of getting the 2008 to 2010 ECW title?
It's kind of just a matter of figuring out who to put it with right now, because it would have to be like a flashback execution at this point, and I'm not sure if there's a strong enough demand for someone from that era that we currently have the rights to put it on. And some people, obviously, we just don't have the rights to do them anymore with that belt. So, yes, I can. It's going to be difficult to try to find out like the correct spot and figure to put it on.
Yeah. Will we ever see the Raw and Smackdown tag titles released again?
The answer is probably the same as the last one. It's just finding out who to put them with that makes sense and people would want enough to purchase them.
Okay. Any chance we could see some really old school legends flashbacks such as Bruiser Brody and Stu Hart?
It's possible. Well, my voice just cracked. It's been a long weekend, guys.
It's possible.
It's possible. Right now, they're not in the plans. I just submitted a list, my most top Legends requests to WWE this weekend at the show. They're not on it. If Legends and Flashbacks and Hall of Fame and all these segments that we're using heritage people to fill up are successful, then we can go deeper and deeper. And as long as we think people will buy it, we'll try to pursue it. So if I personally would like to work on a Bruiser Brody figure myself, and it's just a matter of figuring out when we can do it and what makes the most sense.
If you could take a mulligan of any figure you've made, which would it be, and what would you do differently? P.S. Thank you for all that you do and my addiction problem. And we're talking about wrestling figure addiction.
Let's hope so. Otherwise, there's public admission. It's a little. Legends, Jimmy Snuka. I hate the way that figure turned out, and I'd like to do it over and make the version that people wanted in the first place. So.
How did you manage to get a real metal chain accessory included with the Elite 33 JYD?
We found a source vendor that was able to supply it at a good rate, and we ordered it and included it with the figure. Every once in a while, you'll find, vendors of stuff like that. It's cheaper to do it that way than actually sculpting it yourself. So yeah,
Pretty cool.
in that instance, it worked out really well. It's a really nice touch to have a real metal chain around Bulldog.
Us wrestling fans, we like metal chains. Will we ever get a Slammy accessory?
I think so. I'm just not sure when. I don't have anything scheduled with the Slammy right now, but I tried once before to get it in, and it just didn't work out. But yeah, it is something I would like to get in because it is a pretty iconic accessory.
Yeah. Any chance of a best of series for all of Elites or Legends going on all the way back to the start?
Probably not, just because there's a whole bunch of reasons why. Some of the talent we don't have rights to anymore. Some of the stuff, some of the selections wouldn't, work with now with what's being offered. There are sometimes though when we look at some of the prices, some of the stuff goes for on the secondary markets, our characters, and if we have the rights to them, it's something we'll, our eyes open and go like, wow, people really want this. We should be fulfilling that need as opposed to like someone on eBay.
Yeah. Why do Elite lineups get chosen based on current TV relevance?
Because I want to try to figure out like what's still going to be popular when these come out 8 months from now. And you never know, like the characters are, they burn bright and sometimes they fade out. So.
And that leads into my next question.
Sure.
With the long 8 to 12 month lead times, it seems impossible to predict whether or not an Elite superstar will be popular or not a year from when you begin working.
Yeah, I try to make an educated guess based on like how they come in, what sort of push they're getting out of the gate, how visually interesting they are. If someone comes in and he's just a guy in black trunks and black boots, chances are they might not be as interesting a selection as opposed to someone who comes in that's like really colorful and wild looking, who people, can't wait to get a figure out because they're so interesting looking, even if they like kind of fall in relevance throughout the year. Like I think like Fandango, like when we got the Fandango out, by the time it came out, he's probably not as featured on the programming as he was when we planned him, but because the figure was so colorful and vibrant and stood out from other figures that we were putting out at the time, I knew it would do well.
Yeah. Maybe Fandango could make a comeback too.
I wouldn't mind that.
Me either. Any plans for the near future for a classic Randy Orton?
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been discussed. So it's probably more likely than it was a year ago. I'll just put it that way.
Okay. Are you guys working on any classic divas?
Yes, but none that I can talk about right now.
It's a top secret. Any chance of getting announcers or referees in at least a basic form, even if it's with a John Cena and packed 1 per 5 cases?
1 per 5 cases? No, that doesn't make any sense. Just because we would have to make so little of them, and the MOQ and the minimum order quantities would make it viable. It's we did Lawler as the announcing in his announcer gear, and that did really well. So it's more likely that if Build-A-Figure through Walmart does really well, that we could start using that to get announcers back out there as well. Referees, there's just weird rules about referees, which is why every time we've done a referee, it's been a special referee, a guy's wearing the referee shirt. So that one's a little, I don't fully understand it all. So.
Bill, how often do you actually get a chance to visit the Wrestling Figs message board?
I'm on the forums every day, but I don't comment every day. So I am.
You see all the bad comments?
Oh, I read all the comments, yeah.
People are crazy. You guys are crazy.
Yeah. I've never actually cried, though, so we'll see.
Oh, that's good.
Not yet.
Hopefully never.
Hopefully.
Is there any entrance attire you have tried to make but found it to be too difficult due to deco or sculpts?
I was looking at some earlier in the week. I can't really comment on specifics because it might go forward, but I was like, gosh, how are we going to execute this? Because I really want to.
Yeah.
And just, you know, I got to find out where in the line I can fit it in, and then figure out like how I can deco it to make it look like really good. So, yeah, some of them are difficult, and you can probably imagine like who they are.
Oh yeah.
So it's a few. It's a matter of trying to like figure, because I want to get to those again, and do some like really, you know, really elaborate entrance costumes and gear. It's just finding out where we can put them in the line and at a price that people will not be resistant to.
Yeah. Can we see an elite Tyson Kidd with a tag team championship?
You'll be seeing an elite Tyson Kidd pretty soon, but not with the title belt.
Okay. Why do some figures have sloppy paint apps, lazy eyes, and warped legs? What causes this to happen, and what is being done to correct this?
I think our quality control is top in the industry, to be quite honest with you. I mean, they're mass-produced figures. They're not handmade like a Hot Toys where you're paying $200-300 for it. The most you're paying for one of my figures is $20 or $20, you know, whatever, if there's a retail. But yeah, I mean, these things are made in bulk, in mass, and stuff, you know, nothing's, unless you're like doing stuff by hand, like stuff is gonna happen like that. But I'll put our quality control up against any other company in the industry, to be honest with you.
What led to the defining moments Undertaker being a re-release figure?
Well, we were doing like 2 pads. There was someone we wanted for the 4th slot that we worked on without actually having the rights to them, and we were kind of hoping that we would at some point, and there was like a drop dead date where we didn't have the rights to it, so we had to stop working. And then I was like, well, who do we have ready to put in that slot? And I always remember like the when we put out the Comic-Con Undertaker reaction to that figure was so great, but so few of our collectors have it. So I thought, like, I bet there's a lot of people that really want that figure, because it is one of our best figures. It's always talked about as like, that's one of the best figures they've ever done.
Yeah.
And this isn't me saying, this is other people, so I can say that. But I thought that's a perfect, you know, if this isn't going to happen, this is, you know, it's not going to be as much as a surprise. And the mystery, like the reason I never said anything is because I couldn't, because we never really had the rights to announce what we were working on, and we don't have it now. And if we get the rights to it, believe me, it's going into Defining Moments, and you're all going to buy it, and it's massive. So.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to keep secrets? I feel like I want to tell everybody.
I lose my job if I don't keep secrets, so no, it's very easy for me to keep secrets.
You can tell the secrets to yourself.
Yeah, I can tell to myself. And
Hey, Bill, guess what?
I can occasionally drop a hint or two on these Q&As, but there's a lot of things that I just can't talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Or else you're fired.
Bad.
Okay. Any hints for future defining moments after Hollywood Hogan and Sting?
No, you just heard the, nope, not yet.
Nope.
Gotta keep some secrets, gotta keep my job.
Any chance you could release some of the first few waves of Elites and Legends figures so that everyone can enjoy them, maybe in a cheap packaging or different paint so that it doesn't affect the MOC collectors?
Not on cheaper packaging, but we will probably be doing re-releases of guys. I look at the, you know, follow like what some of the older stuff is going for, and if we still have the rights to some of those characters, we probably will be going back and, you know, putting out similar but slightly tweaked versions of them. I know one in particular that's going forward right now that there's a figure that goes for a lot of money on eBay, and it's like, why aren't we making that money? So we will be putting out a slightly adjusted version of that character to satisfy the demand that's obviously there for that character.
Very cool. Is there anything that can be done to speed up the amount of time we get figures out on the market from a production standpoint?
Not right now. I'm doing as best I can to try to cut the lead times, but there's processes that have to be followed, and I don't determine the schedules on a lot of this stuff. I try to get my stuff done as quickly as possible so we can get in the pipeline and underway. And, you know, I want the show to shelf to be as short as possible, but, you know, the stuff has to sit for the boats that take it from China. They're on the water for like a month and a half, and that's just like, yeah, it's.
They should speed up their engines.
Well, yeah, well, they're going by in like those big boats. And
it seems like some figures have been coming out neck pegs with incorrect length. What's up with that?
Yeah, this is particular probably the Sami Zayn one that had like a little short neck. Yeah, it's just sometimes stuff happens in production and you don't have control of it until it's actually like out and then you see it's like.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, once again, I think our quality control is actually pretty good. Stuff like that is going to happen on any mass-produced toy line. We just try to keep it as few instances as possible.
Since the Bunny is no longer in WWE, did he get dropped from the lineup?
I spent too much on Tool and the Bunny to drop him from the lineup, so he's coming.
How come some figures like the painted Finn Balor come with accessories and tons of deco, and yet other figures won't even get a simple accessory?
In terms of some characters just, someone like a John Cena or Roman Reigns, their costumes really aren't that elaborate.
Yeah.
And there's no need to like paint them up for no reason. Some people need it. Like you can't do the Demon Finn Balor without doing all the paint.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure kind of what that question was getting at.
Yeah. Well, there's your answer. Without naming names, have you signed more talent to Legends contract?
Yes.
Yes. Because we can't name any names. What superstar, their attire, or them from a specific event would you like to immortalize in figure form the most?
I've said it before, my top four, and they haven't changed, is Psychosis, La Parka, Kenta Kobashi, and now Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know if I'll ever do them, but if I had, 4 dream slots somewhere down the line, those would be those 4.
Nice. How are the parts chosen for elites?
I look at what I have, that I can execute for a figure, and then what I need. And if I need it, I'll have, Gentle Giant 3D Systems, or we have vendors in Asia as well, do the sculpting on it. And then you just, tell the factory, it's like use these existing parts, and then we're sending you these new parts as well, and then hopefully they all get put together properly at the prototyping stage.
Are new knee pad and elbow pad molds coming?
I know one elbow pad in particular that we're doing a new elbow pad for a certain character because they're very distinctive. So
I think I might know. Maybe. Can we finally get a brass knuckle accessory?
Not anything planned right now. So not anytime soon, probably, but we'll see.
Okay. Why did it take so long to release a Sting or Hulk Hogan figure?
Because I didn't have the rights to them until like a year and a half ago. Otherwise, believe me, if I could have had Sting and Hulk Hogan in the lineup at 2010, they would have been in the lineup early and often. But I didn't get the rights until last year, so.
Why was IRS scratched from Elite 36, and will we see him in another series?
He was scratched because when I got the first prototype of it, the head, which was final tooled, was like ridiculously small. Yeah. And it was either put him.
Looked weird.
It looked like Beetlejuice shrunk the head. So and it's like I'm not putting that on a figure, and I know it's it's a disappointment when you have something planned because I actually wanted him to have him out in Elite 36 with both his sons in the wave. I thought that would have been really cool, but just I couldn't do it. It would have looked really, really bad.
Yeah.
And we had to redo the head mold. When it's coming out in another wave, the head is properly sized this time. It looks great.
Woo, I can't wait to see it. Is there possibly a new Vince McMahon?
Nothing currently lined up, but I have an idea where I would want to put him in the future, so.
We'll keep our eyes open. Who is your current favorite figure you've worked on?
Recently, it's the Finn Balor that's come, the Elite Finn Balor.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see the first prototype on that. It's going to be pretty. That's. You get something like that to work with. It just makes your life and your job that much fun.
Any chance of us seeing create a diva?
Probably not. Retailers are squeamish about separate female body parts in the packaging as opposed to like male body parts. They don't want it, so we're not going to give it to them. And then.
Okay. When is the latest and soonest we can see a Samoa Joe figure?
I just started work on a Samoa Joe, so it's gonna be a while. So, but it's going to be good. I was really happy that I got when I got the photos to work with. I was like,
Woo!
yeah.
Will we ever see some of the world accessories like a toilet or broomstick, etc.?
Broomstick is more likely than a toilet just because of the size and being able to fit it in a package. Yeah, like a broken broomstick. Actually, like a push broom would probably be a good accessory for a battle pack.
Yeah.
Just because you could have like one guy chasing him with threatening with a broomstick. Yeah, I'll probably actually, I will probably actually get a broomstick into the line.
Oh,
based off that question. So if you were the person that asked that question, and when you go to the store and you see a broomstick, know that it was your question that made it happen.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. Will future Roman Reigns figures have the Ryback torso mold since Reigns now wears a singlet under his vest?
The next Elite one won't. It's just there. I'm kind of hesitant to do it just because I like having the whole chest exposed with this, because I spent so much time getting the right pec tattoo.
Yeah.
Proper to look, the way it does, and then to like go back and immediately cover it up right away.
No, you don't want to do that.
I don't really want to do that. I mean, if it's something where it's like it changes color and it's real obvious that it's like a black vest with like a white vest underneath, then it's something where you might have to do it. But for right now, I kind of prefer to keep it like a bare chest and then do all the vests over it.
Why won't you add the tattoo on the back of Undertaker's neck?
When we do an Elite execution of the WrestleMania 32, the 31 Undertaker, it will have the tattoo on the back of the neck.
That about wraps it up.
I just want to say real quick that I'm really pissed off that you took my job, Noel, and you're reading from a script. A script? You don't even memorize the questions for Bill? Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah, it's Bill.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'm just sorry. I had to get that off my chest. I'm really upset about this. This is such.
I'm so sorry that we were rudely interrupted by that stupid little girl, Charlie Saxton. He seriously needs to change his haircut because he looks so dumb. But I was thanking you for the interview, and all these figures are absolutely amazing, and I can't wait until all of them come out. Is there any last words that you would like to leave the fans with?
Sure, just as always, thanks for supporting the line. Thanks for continuing to buy the Mattel WWE product line. I hope, we're giving you your money's worth, because I know this stuff isn't cheap anymore, and I want to make sure that your money's well spent. So thank you.
You are watching Ringside Collectibles coverage of San Diego Comic-Con 2015.